Welcome to this special program where we are chronicling the tour of ZIMDEF funded projects in the country's provinces by the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Higher and Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development. And if truth be said, these efforts being spearheaded by ZIMDEF should be applauded because without human capital development, we are doomed as a nation. In our previous programs, we toured Chinhoyi University of Technology and Kwekwe Polytechnic. In this program, we shall start from Bulawayo Polytechnic, where the principal, Engineer Gilbert Muzenzi Mabasa, explains that for the past 10 years, the cost of running Bulawayo Polytechnic has been coming squarely from ZIMDEF.
Bulawayo Polytechnic and ZIMDEF have a long relationship, and it's a very important and critical one. We are grateful for that. The ZIMDEF provides funds to support all our sections in terms of training, equipment, consumables, in terms of payment of student allowances when they are on attachment. They also sponsor top up for the BTech allowances for lecturers that teach on the BTech program. They are also responsible for providing machinery and equipment. I would say the areas they are covering are critical for what the fund is for. What we may ask for is the funding of special note is the library. There's the library that was commissioned years ago, which should have been built, but because there is no funds sufficient from Treasury, if ZIMDEF could take that up, because we don't have really a library that is worthy for this institution. And we also have got a project that we want to do with solar energy provision for the institution to cut down on some of the ZESA bills. And so if ZIMDEF could consider that. But above all, just an increase in the allowances that the students are given when they're on attachment. Because the $100 per month is better than nothing. But in the current environment, it doesn't enable them to do much by way of support. Because the companies that used to pay people on attachment now don't have that capacity.
The scissors use the feedback to the ECU. Then the ECU is the report to the injectors on how much flow should be supplied.
If we are diagnosing, we choose the continent of this. Our car is Honda from Asia. We go to Asia. From there, we choose the Honda model of the car. It's Honda. Then after selecting, we proceed. Okay.
St. Patrick's School of Hospitality and Tourism was established in 1963 with the first intake of 40 students. In 1992, the government, through ZIMDEF, engineered the construction of this current building that now takes up to 1,000 students.
We then decided on a model of training that gives lecturers and students some relevance by staying practical to the industry. To that event, we had ZIMDEF supporting us in renovating this public works building so that we can have this as an extension of our classroom. So our students come here to gain their experience because those 8 rooms we saw across the road were not enough. But in addition to getting experience, we also make some revenue so that we can reduce dependence on the fiscus.
The 4 pillars of the school are tourism and hospitality management, culinary arts, food and beverages management, and confectionery management. The hotel has 16 well-furnished rooms but has been rated 2-star because of its capacity. The Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Higher and Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development, however, raised concern over unfinished projects and uncommissioned equipment, and ZIMDEF CEO Mr. Frederick Mandijidza had this to say.
The issue of commissioning of equipment in our polytechnics, that is a process which was almost at the end of the exercise, until the ministry itself said, hold on, we want to do a separate exercise to make sure that we have equipment which is relevant to the curriculum that we are running in our institutions, and we put that on hold. So it's not, there's nothing really that stops us from completing that process anytime from now. And then there are certain projects, for example, the Harare Poly Library. We have been focusing on that project for quite a number of years and failing to complete it, not because there was no money. Year in, year out, we have been budgeting for that project, but there were problems to do with the contractor. Which contractor is beyond our control because it is public works. They are supervised by the Ministry of Local Government of Public Works. So what that means is that we cannot progress with that project to its completion until they have sorted out their own issues. But we have been putting money aside. We just want you to take note that it has since been completed last year, but it has taken quite some time. So some of the projects which might not be completed, they might not be completed not because of our own problems or challenges. These are challenges beyond our control, either in the ministry or in the institutions that are failing probably to do what needs to be done on the ground.
From the School of Hospitality, the team traveled to Lupane State University, which is still under construction. The university has been operating from Bulawayo for the past 11 years. About 100 staff members and 300 students are now operating from the Lupane University, but the rest are still based in Bulawayo.
ZIMDEF came in when we were experiencing very difficult circumstances in terms of completing structures at Lupane, and we appealed to them. They responded positively, and they provided what I can call last mile financing to complete structures at Lupane. This included financing to complete the female hostel and financing to complete the teaching complex, and also some finances to complete, not even to complete, but to start from fresh the provision of electricity. This entailed construction of ZESA power station, and also the acquisition of transformers.
To date, ZIMDEF has funded Lupane State University construction to the tune of $2,775,000. In our next episode, we will be at the National University of Science and Technology as we continue with our tour of ZIMDEF funded projects countrywide. Thank you for watching.